John said, Saturday night's all right for fighting. And here in Kentucky, it's also the night for side-by-side racing, as IZOD IndyCar points leader Will Power looks to hold on to his lead over rival Dario Franchitti, who had a big win last weekend. And keep an eye on Ed Carpenter. The Indy native finished a career-high second here a year ago and starts tonight from the pole. Welcome to Kentucky, where horsepower has a whole different meaning. Down in Louisville, Churchill Downs is stop number 1 on a certain Triple Crown. But tonight, Kentucky Speedway is the first of the final 3 oval races to crown the 2010 IZOD IndyCar season champion. Welcome to IndyCar Central on Versus, presented by Firestone, where we will set the stage for tonight's 200th lap race. I'm Lindy Thaxton, located here in the IZOD fan zone at Kentucky Speedway. We have 3 more ovals to go, all 1.5 miles, just like Chicagoland last weekend. We got a good crowd out here today, huh? Last weekend, no doubt, was a good race. There were 11 different leaders, 25 different lead changes. In the end, Dario Franchitti leads the final 27 laps. With his win, he cuts Will Power's point lead from 59 down to 23. Well, let's get started tonight with a fan favorite who led 10 laps last week.
Sarah Fisher is at the front of the field. The first laps that she has led since Kentucky 2002. Ryan Briscoe goes to the front.
Boy, Sarah Fisher likes that clean air. She's staying there, and she looks at the mirror and says, wow.
3 wide racing at Chicagoland Speedway. Sarah Fisher hanging in there in second position, and she just will not give up. Way to go, Sarah.
It's just so much fun to be able to get out there and run up front. And Kerry Hall's been fueling for us this whole year, and with his ALS battle, I'm just really happy we have a wonderful group of people.
This is his last race. Kerry Hall, we wish you the best, and thank you for your service to Sarah Fisher Racing.
And Sarah Fisher joins us now here on set, but I understand that he is making an encore this weekend.
He is. You know, he came back to run Graham's car. We were very excited to put Graham in the second Service Central car, so I think it's going to be a good night.
Let's talk about back in 2000. That was a good year here for you. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I know. Being on the podium was just an impressive run, and still holding the track record. You know, I can't say so much for my fans here in Kentucky Speedway. They're my short track fans, and it's just awesome to be here with them.
Yeah, you said that this is one of your favorite places to come.
It absolutely is. I mean, you know, it's been a long time, you know, being here for 10 years, and I just couldn't be more happy, you know, to have the support of someone like Dollar General to keep me bringing me back.
Is this a 3-year anniversary for that?
It is the 3-year anniversary. They brought me here in 08 when we had some struggles after the Indy 500, and so they're back here tonight watching with us instead of Atlanta, so we're real excited about that.
How'd you feel leading last week?
It was exhilarating. I had so much fun, and, you know, I had some great pit stop strategy. My husband Andy was calling the race for me, so it was just a fantastic time, and I hope we can do that again tonight.
Well, good luck tonight. We're going to let you get over to driver intros, and we are now going to go to Jackaroot, who's with Tony Kanaan.
Not quite as much cheering going on, strictly because of the fact that we're getting ready for driver introductions. They're going wild for Sarah Fisher out there, but I want to talk about what happened earlier in qualifying with Tony Kanaan. You had what they call a huge moment. Tell me about it.
Yeah, it was a big one, but it wasn't bigger than my teammate Hunter Ray. So we pretty much running the same setup, and he was 2 cars ahead of me, and unfortunately he crashed. And we kind of overreacted it a little bit, and we didn't want to crash the car, and we took a bunch of front wing out, and I actually, instead of backing into the wall, I almost went head on. So was definitely not the right choice.
So you're now in the back along with your teammate Ryan Hunter Ray. Are you going to treat us to the same sort of thrilling start that you did at Chicago?
What else is new? I'm in the back again, right? So Indy, Chicago, so you can watch. I can't promise anything because you don't have a control against the other guys, but I'm going forward.
Watch Tony Kanaan. He'll be carving his way to the front. Let's go to Robbie Floyd.
You might want to watch out, Jack, or TK may want to watch out because Paul just told me you're going to put a hook on him, right?
Yeah, well, TK, I know that after watching the start last week, if he comes by me, I'm just going to throw a hook onto the back of his car and just let him pull me around. But, it's great to be back in the car with DNR, and I got to thank Motegi Racing Wheels. And we got a lot of people here from Dad's and Valspar, so we're hoping for a good night.
A lot of Paul Tracy fans out there. It's been a while since you won an oval. When was the last time?
I don't even remember. It's been a while, but I've won plenty of oval races. But it's been a little while.
In Milwaukee, I think he won several times. They're talking about putting that back on the schedule again. Tell me about the car. A new team. It's got to be tough with this limited practice schedule.
Yeah, it was tough yesterday. We rolled off the truck, Justin and I, and we were a little bit off on the setup, both of us, and we got the range short in practice, and then it was straight into qualifying. We threw some more setup at it. It was better, but not good enough. And then in the warm-up, we got an extra half an hour, and the car, we got it better, working better in the traffic. So, just like Justin did last week. You just sit there and wait, and run the best race you can, stay in contention, and he pulled out a top 10 last week, a 7th, so that's what our plan is.
Your car handling good? You say I've heard that it didn't have the top speed, but if it handles well, maybe you can get up there.
Yeah, I mean, top speed in relation to the red cars is a relative thing. I think we're pretty racy with the cars we're going to be racing. The groups like KV and AGR, I think we can run with those guys. So, if we have a nice clean night, nice pit stops, hopefully we can pull out of here with a top 10.
A funny thing, Lindy Thaxton, I said, "You going to be aggressive off the start?" He says, "I'm always aggressive."
Yeah, I was going to say, we knew what he was going to say to that. Thank you, Robbie. This is Tracy's first start on a 1.5-mile oval since 2005 in Las Vegas. He only has 13 career starts on this type of track, where he had led 6 times, but also has 7 DNFs. His best finish was at Homestead in 1997 when Tracy finished 2nd to Michael Andretti. And don't forget, later in the show, we will talk to both Will Power and Dario Franchitti about how this title chase is tightening up. Well, Graham Rahal was a late add to Sarah Fisher's team this week and will also start in the back at 25th. Last week in Joliet, Robbie Floyd got a tour with Graham's father, Bobby, of some special Rahal memorabilia.
So this is the Rahal Man Cave. I've heard about it, but I finally get to see it.
That's what Graham calls it. You don't see new cars here per se. It's all stuff from when I was a teenager, when I really followed racing. My dad raced as an SCCA racer, and so for me, from probably the early 60s to the early to mid 70s, that's pretty much everything that's in here, and that's kind of the era that, I've got a Cobra, I've had Shelby Mustangs, it's all that stuff that when you were a kid, you thought, man, that's got to be the car to have.
All right, tell me about this place, though. I mean, it's the man cave, but in a bigger picture, I mean, this is a dream.
Well, this Audubon Country Club, about 15 years ago, this fellow came to me and said, I want to start a country club, but for guys with cars rather than golf clubs. And, I wanted a place where we could all be. We could all come and play with the cars and make it a man cave, a place where the guys go for a Saturday or a Sunday and, bench race. This is about the Rahal racing family, and so who knows how long we'll have this. Maybe his son will race one day.
It's a lot of fun to truthfully to wake up to the sound of a race car is pretty cool. And so to be able to sit outside, eat some breakfast and watch race cars, I don't know, there's nothing better than that to me.
IndyCar Central pre-race is presented by Firestone, the first name in Indy racing.
Welcome back to IndyCar Central on Versus, presented by Firestone, where we are getting ready for tonight's 300-mile race. This is the 11th time that we have raced here. There have been 8 different winners. Only Buddy Lazier and Sam Hornish Jr. have been repeat winners here. And it was here back in 2005 that Scott Sharp, driving for Adrian Fernandez, won ahead of Vitor Meira and Dan Weldon. It was the last of 9 victories for Sharp in the series, and it's significant because it was the last time a team other than Penske, Ganassi, or Andretti won on an oval. In the 52 oval races since, Ganassi drivers have won 22 races, while Penske and Andretti have each won 15. And once a driver for Andretti and also for Ganassi, Dan Weldon was a part of that streak. Well, now that he's with Panther Racing, he's hoping to end that same streak that he was a part of. After a second-place finish in Chicago last weekend, look for Dan to be heading towards the front here today. Jack Arute caught up with the driver of the National Guard car.
And Lindy, we've caught up with Dan Weldon as he's meeting with National Guards folks, not only here at the Kentucky Motor Speedway, but also in Afghanistan via satellite, Dan.
Yeah, for me, I'm blessed to drive the